Hi and welcome to our introduction to positive psychology, positive education and positive educational psychology. I'm Vicky Tyra Davis, educational psychologist and company director of Flying Colours Educational Psychology. So first of all, we'll think about positive psychology. So psychology has traditionally had a negative bias with a focus on deficit, disorder, dysfunction, and on fixing whatever is deemed to be wrong. And this has become known now as psychology as usual. Martin Seligman in 2012 is the founder of positive psychology, and he asserted that while the main focus of psychology as we generally know it has been on the negative aspects of human experience, this focus was not actually the original intention of psychologists and actually came about by accident. So how did this happen? Well, before the Second World War, psychology had three aims. One was to cure mental illness, one was to improve normal lives, and one was to identify and nurture talent. Unfortunately, the last two aims somehow got lost, probably because of the lack of resources following the war, which meant that all funding was channeled into dealing with the human crisis facing the world, and so psychology became focused on the first aim. Whilst there had been some attention paid to the positive aspects of human functioning, such as creativity and optimism, this was not united by an overarching framework. Martin Seligman felt that too little attention was being given to the positive aspects of human functioning, such as happiness, well-being, strengths, flourishing, and exceptionalism. So positive psychology was founded. Seligman defines the discipline of positive psychology as the scientific study of optimal human functioning that aims to discover and promote the factors that allow individuals and communities to thrive. Since thousands of researchers around the globe have provided evidence-based positive psychology principles that can be applied at the individual level within coaching, teaching, and workplaces, to name but a few. The dynamic field of positive psychology is therefore focused on human potential rather than shortcomings and helps promote success and well-being in individuals, organisations and societies. Its application is not limited to where there is a problem, but can be used to support well-functioning people to achieve their goals and to become the best version of themselves. It's about making normal lives great instead of focusing just on moving those who are struggling up to normal. Whilst positive psychology is a relatively new field, it continues to rapidly evolve. It is now time to balance the problem-based focus of psychology with the application of science-based knowledge of human flourishing, strengths, talents, high achievement, and fulfilling work and personal lives. Positive psychology is not intended to replace psychology as we have known it, but to match psychology's negativity bias with a focus on the positive too. So let's think now about positive education. So positive education is a rapidly growing branch of positive psychology. Martin Seligman defined it as education for both traditional skills and for happiness. White and Murray offer a further definition. Positive psychology is an umbrella term that is used to describe empirically validated interventions and programs from positive psychology that have an impact on student well-being. White and Kern comment on the potential of positive education. When done well, positive education has the potential to profoundly shape and impact the lives of future generations. The use of positive psychology interventions can enhance engagement with school, empower learners to view the world through a positive lens, and help to reverse the growing issue of mental ill health amongst young adults. So moving on to the last section now, which is about positive educational psychology. So positive educational psychology balances the traditional negative bias of the use of psychology in education. Educational psychologists have traditionally been limited to working with children with additional needs, but we have so much more to offer the whole school community, especially when we balance the science of educational psychology with positive psychology. Flying Colours is on a journey to develop the practice of positive educational psychology and to promote and support the introduction of positive education within education settings. Our aim is to facilitate the practical application and integration of science-based positive psychology approaches at 3 levels to support the whole school, not just the children with additional needs. So at level 1, we're looking at the individual level. So that includes pupils, the learners, and school staff. And we integrate positive psychology into traditional EP work. We also undertake individual work with school staff and students implementing positive psychology principles via coaching psychology frameworks. The fields of positive psychology and coaching psychology are very well suited to each other as they share similar aims and values. Both have a focus on strengths and both define themselves by a move away from the traditional deficit-based approach to psychology. At the second level, we work with groups, including classrooms and staff groups. We work with school staff to integrate positive psychology into classroom activities and day-to-day life as a teacher. And at the third level, this is at the organisational level of the whole school, we work through whole school positive psychology consultation to work with you to identify the school's policies, protocols and procedures that could be improved using positive psychology interventions. We work with you and formulate a plan for intervention to make your vision a reality. So we have reached the end of our whistle-stop tour of positive psychology, positive education and positive educational psychology. Thank you for listening. I do hope that you feel inspired. If you have any questions or would like to find out more about our services at Flying Colours, please feel free to contact me at victoria@flyingcolourseducationalpsychology.co.uk.